Just like the films, Star Wars video games are almost always highly anticipated, and luckily, there are already some games lined up to look forward to in 2026 and beyond. George Lucas' creation has blossomed over decades into one of the largest media franchises in existence, with classic games like Knights of the Old Republic and Battlefront standing as important contributions. Following Disney's acquisition of the Star Wars IP, Electronic Arts was the sole publisher allowed to release officially licensed games. That is no longer the case, and other companies have joined the roster of upcoming titles. There are 7 Star Wars games that appear to be in development, although only 2 of these games are currently set for release in 2026. The timeline for all the other upcoming titles is currently very nebulous, with a lack of substantial updates on any of them making it look like nothing else will be arriving particularly soon. There could always be some surprise announcements in the coming months, but for now, it looks like Star Wars fans won't be in any danger of having to rush from game to game. 7 Star Wars, Galactic Racer is headed for 2026 Fuse Games. Star Wars, Galactic Racer was one of the big surprises at the Game Awards 2025. While the setting of this game covers material like the sequel trilogy, this clearly follows in the mode that Star Wars Episode I, Racer established in 1999. Races promise high-stakes intensity in the vein of games like F-Zero, with plenty of opportunities for violent crashes and disastrous mistakes. Despite the recent reveal, Galactic Racer is set to release sooner than upcoming Star Wars games that were announced years ago, with a 2026 launch window declared on day 1. More recently, Galactic Racer narrowed things down to the specific date of October 6, 2026 and revealing pre-order options and editions. The standard game will launch at a $59.99 MSRP, and the deluxe edition will bump the cost to $79.99 while adding new speeders and more. Galactic Racer will be the debut title from developer Fuse Games, but the studio leads have some highly relevant expertise from Burnout and Need for Speed. Hopefully, that high-octane action translates to the Star Wars universe and delivers the action that fans are looking for. 6 Star Wars Zero Company should be up next. Respawn Entertainment/Bit Reactor. The other Star Wars game with a confirmed 2026 window is a strategy title from Respawn Entertainment, the studio behind the Star Wars Jedi games. Star Wars Zero Company is a collaborative effort with a newly formed development studio called Bit Reactor, helmed by Greg Forch, a former employee of Firaxis Games. Forch has experience working on Firaxis XCOM series, and Zero Company is clearly pulling from that well. Zero Company is set in the darkening years of the Clone Wars as the tide begins to turn against the Republic. A customizable character named Hawks leads a strike unit in tactical battles, with a focus on new characters rather than familiar Star Wars faces. Like XCOM, building and managing a strong squad and preparing properly for missions will be just as important as the moves made on the battlefield. Hands-on previews of the game have been positive so far, so fans are largely optimistic about the release. The launch window is currently a vague 2026, but compared to other Star Wars projects, it's reassuring to know that much already. There's still a chance that Zero Company could come out before Galactic Racer. It was revealed first, after all, but without a release date yet, assuming that it won't drop until the holiday season might be safer. 5 Star Wars Eclipse could be as late as 2028. Quantic Dream. Star Wars Eclipse was announced with a captivating reveal trailer at the Game Awards 2021. It will be the first Star Wars game set in the High Republic era, which is a period of prosperity for the Galactic Republic decades prior to the events of the Phantom Menace. Very little is known about the game itself, since it isn't expected to release for a few more years. Star Wars Eclipse is being developed by Quantic Dream, a studio known for its interactive story-driven games and a number of controversies relating to a toxic work environment. Eclipse came under scrutiny following its announcement because of Quantic Dream's involvement, which resulted in #BlackoutStarWarsEclipse trending on Twitter. Many fans feel the lucrative Star Wars IP shouldn't be licensed to creators prone to repeated, troubling behavior, but the situation hasn't necessarily evolved since the outcry. Rumors have suggested that some of these issues could put the game a long way off, potentially as far as 2028. Now that we're months into 2026 and nothing further has been shown for the game, that concern is starting to look increasingly legitimate. The latest news only adds to the worry, as a report suggested that development on Eclipse continues to move at a snail's pace. For Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic is in flux. Saber Interactive. Longtime Star Wars video game fans were delighted when a remake of Knights of the Old Republic was announced at Sony's PlayStation Showcase in September 2021. The original, developed by BioWare, came out for the Xbox and PC in 2003 and earned significant acclaim in the years since. An equally lauded sequel was developed by Obsidian in 2005, but a third KOTOR never came. Fans waited a long time for the series to return to the light of day, and although a truly new title would be hard to beat, a remake of the original is still a welcome surprise. Only a teaser for the remake featuring Darth Revan igniting a red lightsaber has been released, with all other details on the KOTOR remake still a mystery. Reports of a change in developer for the KOTOR remake from Aspyr to Saber Interactive worried fans about the state of the game, and a tweet from 2023 revealed an exchange with the CEO of the company behind Saber, Stephen Totilo, that offers little hope for an imminent release. Despite various other scares, like a delisted KOTOR remake trailer, rumors continue to show vague signs of life in the project. More recently, Saber CCO Tim Willits offered the most optimistic update in a while, mentioning in a 2025 X post that everything we have talked about is still in development. The post doesn't reference Knights of the Old Republic in particular, but it's an implied part of that slate.